April 2026 is a turning point you can feel in real time. This isn't just another month, it's a decision. With a powerful Libra full moon bringing relationship clarity, a new moon in Aries initiating a brand new version of you, and a rare concentration of Aries energy activating your identity, direction, and next moves, you're being asked to stop hesitating and start moving in alignment with who you're becoming. This month is where your life reflects your choices more than ever. In this video, we'll explore what each rising sign is being asked to step into with confidence, realign with intention, take action on immediately, and stop avoiding once and for all. So grab your birth chart, find your rising sign, and let's dive into what April 2026 has in store for you.
Hi, Aries rising. So, this month, your power lies in becoming someone your past self wouldn't recognize, but your future self already is. April is your identity ignition point. This is not a soft reset, and it's not a reflection phase. This is where you decide who you are and start moving like it immediately. April is loaded with Aries energy, but each planet is activating a different layer of your identity. Mars in Aries means that your instincts are waking up. What you want is louder. Saturn in Aries means that you're being asked to take yourself seriously. No more half versions of you. Neptune in Aries means that old identities are dissolving. You are stepping into something more intuitive and more aligned. While the Sun and Chiron in Aries means that the wound around being too much or too direct is being healed in real time. This month isn't about becoming likable. It's about becoming undeniable in your truth. But the edge to this energy is that as you step into yourself, your relationships, your money, and your voice all start reacting. This is where you learn being yourself will change your life, but you have to be willing to let it. Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra in your seventh house. So, this is representative of the mirror you can't unsee. This full moon brings a relationship dynamic to a head, but it's not just about them. It's about the version of you that shows up in connection. So you may realize where you've been over accommodating, where you've been avoiding conflict to keep peace, or where you've been shrinking to be chosen. This is a moment of clarity. If you showed up fully as yourself, would this dynamic still work? Something here either deepens through honesty or completes through truth. On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with Saturn and Neptune. Because this is in your first house, this is about you moving like it's real now. This is one of the most powerful identity transits of the year for you. Mars wants movement, Saturn demands intention, and Neptune dissolves illusion. So, this is where you stop playing with your potential, you stop waiting to feel ready, and you start moving like the version of you you've been visualizing. But this is not reckless, it's focused. This is disciplined self trust. If you've been confused about who you are, this transit clears it through action. On April 16th, the Aries Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. Now, again, because this is in your first house, this is about healing the fear of being fully seen. This is tender, but it's very powerful. So you may come face to face with the fear of being judged, the fear of being too much, or the instinct to tone yourself down. But this time, instead of shrinking, you stay. This is where healing happens, not by fixing yourself, but by allowing yourself to exist fully without apology. Also on April 16th, Mars in Aries makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is going to be your first and 11th houses. The theme of this energy is that power moves shift your future. So what you do now changes your trajectory. This is strategic momentum. If you take action, your future responds. If you choose yourself, your environment adjusts. So you may attract new opportunities, new people, or a new direction, but only because you moved first. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So this is your personal new year. Not the version of you that's comfortable, but the version of you that's honest. So set intentions around identity, confidence, direction, and self leadership. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about finally being who you've been holding back. On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus, your second house. So, what you accept reflects who you are. Now, after all of the identity activation in Aries, Taurus is asking, do your standards match who you say you are? So, this is about money, self worth, boundaries, and what you tolerate. If you've upgraded your identity, but not your standards, you'll fill the gap with this energy. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus in your third house. So, this means that if you say it differently, watch everything shift. Your voice becomes magnetic and unpredictable. So, this energy is unexpected conversations, bold expression, and new ideas that change your direction. So, you may say something off the cuff that opens a door. This is not polished communication. This is truth in motion. On April 25th, the Sun in Taurus makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is going to be across your second and 11th houses. So this is about the pressure to stay the same versus the need to evolve. So there's tension between your self worth and external expectations. So you may feel challenged, judged, or pulled to stay in an old version of yourself. But this is the test. Do you go back to what's familiar, or do you stand in who you've become? Also, on April 25th, the Sun in Taurus makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces across your second and 12th houses. So, this is kind of like a quiet confirmation. It's subtle but powerful. This means that when you trust yourself, things align. So, this may feel like having a quiet knowing or a moment of peace or even a sign that you're on the right path. Not everything needs to be loud to be real. And finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini, your third house. So, this begins a long term shift in how you think, speak, and process. So, expect sudden insights, new ways of communicating, and a break from old mental loops. Your voice becomes a tool for change. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to act before you feel ready. You are not building confidence, you are building evidence. Move first, and the clarity comes after. Next is to upgrade your standards to match your identity. If you say you've changed, your boundaries, pricing, and expectations should reflect it. Next is to let yourself be seen without editing. The healing this month comes from visibility, not perfection. Show up as you are. Next is to say what you actually mean. Your voice is activating your next timeline. Stop filtering it for comfort. And finally, choose growth over familiarity. You will be tempted to go back to what feels safe. Don't. That version of you has already expired. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is, I move as the version of me I'm becoming. I trust my instincts, honor my worth, and allow my truth to lead my life. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And if this actually moves something in you, don't just sit on it. Be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for what's next. And if you're in a season where everything feels like it's shifting, my As Above, So Within digital prompt journal helps you to track it, understand it, and move with it. Be sure to tap the links in my description box below to check it out and get started. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hi, Taurus rising. So, this month, your power lies in trusting what's shifting internally before the outside reflects it. April is your internal reset before your external rise. While Aries energy dominates the sky this month, for you, it's happening behind the scenes in your 12th house. This means April isn't about being seen yet. It's about what you're releasing, processing, and quietly preparing for. Each Aries placement this month is working differently within you. Mars in Aries in the 12th is about suppressed energy, hidden anger, and subconscious drives rising. Saturn in Aries in the 12th means karmic closure, discipline in healing, and emotional boundaries. Neptune in Aries in the 12th is about dissolving illusions, heightened intuition, and spiritual sensitivity. The Sun and Chiron in Aries in the 12th is about healing old wounds around isolation, invisibility, or self sacrifice. This is not a slow month, it's a deep one. You are clearing old identities, emotional residue, and patterns you've outgrown but haven't fully released. And once Taurus season begins, you will step forward differently, clearer, and more self led. This month is asking, can you trust the process even when it's happening in silence? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra, and this is happening in your 6th house. This is the pattern you can't ignore anymore. This full moon brings a reality check around your daily life. So you may clearly see where you're overworking, where your routines are draining you, and where you've been prioritizing productivity over well being. This is about balance, not burnout. If something in your schedule, work environment, or health habits feels off, this is the moment it becomes undeniable. On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune in Aries in your 12th house. This is the internal breaking point that becomes a breakthrough. This is powerful but quiet. Mars brings buried emotions to the surface. Saturn asks you to take responsibility for your healing. And Neptune dissolves the illusion that you're fine. This can feel like emotional waves, sudden exhaustion, or realizations that you can't ignore anymore. Instead of this being a collapse, this is a release. You're being asked to stop carrying what was never yours. On April 16th, the Sun in Aries makes a conjunction to Chiron in Aries in your 12th house. So this is healing what you never talk about. This is deeply personal. A wound around feeling unseen, feeling unsupported, or feeling like you've had to carry everything alone may surface. But instead of pushing it down, you're invited to sit with it. This is where self-compassion becomes your strength, not avoidance. On April 16th, Mars in Aries makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is your 12th and 10th houses. This means that quiet moves can change your future. Even though most of this month feels internal, something is shifting in your external trajectory. So you may make a private decision that impacts your career. You may release something internally that frees you professionally. Or you may gain clarity about your long-term direction. This is subtle power. You don't need to announce it. You just need to move differently. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So this is the ending that becomes a beginning. This new moon is not about starting something visible. It's about closing something karmic. So set intentions around letting go, forgiveness, healing, and releasing control. This is a reset in your subconscious. You are planting seeds for a version of you that will fully emerge soon, but not yet. On April 20th, the Sun enters Taurus. So this is you stepping back into yourself. This is your moment. After weeks of internal clearing, you re-emerge. You're feeling more grounded, more clear, and more connected to yourself. This is where your energy returns and your presence strengthens. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. This is going to be happening in your second house. So something unexpected happens around your finances, self-worth, or what you're willing to accept. So you may raise your standards, receive unexpected income, or realize you've been undervaluing yourself. This is liberation through value. On April 25th, the Sun in Taurus squares Pluto in Aquarius. So this is the pressure to stay safe versus the need to evolve. So you may feel tension between who you're becoming and how others expect you to show up. So, this is a moment of choice. Do you stay in a role that feels familiar or step into something more aligned? On April 25th, the Sun in Taurus makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your 11th house. So, this is about alignment through authenticity. When you show up as yourself, the right people find you. So, this may feel like a new connection, a sense of belonging, or clarity about your future direction. You don't have to chase alignment, you embody it. Finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini. So, your value system is about to change. This begins a long term shift in how you earn money, how you spend money, and how you value yourself. So, expect new ideas, new income streams, and a break from old financial patterns. Some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to let yourself slow down without guilt. This is not a push forward month. This is a clear it out month. Rest is productive right now. Next is to release what you've been carrying quietly. Not everything you've held on to is yours. Let it go emotionally and energetically. Next is to prepare for your next chapter internally. Before your outer life shifts, your inner world has to align. Trust this process. Next is to raise your standards around worth. When Taurus season begins, your value becomes visible. Decide now what you will and won't accept. And finally, trust what you feel, even if you can't explain it yet. Your intuition is stronger than your logic this month. Follow it. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is I trust the quiet shifts within me. I release what no longer aligns and I step forward grounded in my worth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And this isn't just content, it's activation. So be sure to like this video, share it, hype it, and subscribe so you keep building on this momentum. And if you're ready to feel chosen without needing someone else to choose you first, my digital Venus activation prompt journal walks you back into that version of yourself and reset your relationship patterns. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check it out and get started. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hi, Gemini Rising. So, this month, your power lies in choosing the future that actually excites you, even if it means outgrowing where you are now. This is your timeline shift. April is activating your 11th house of future vision, community, and long term direction. But it's not just about dreaming bigger, it's about deciding which version of your future is actually aligned with who you're becoming now. Each Aries placement this month is working through your 11th house differently. Mars in Aries is about bold action toward your goals, new connections, and momentum in your future. Saturn in Aries is about long term commitments, refining your vision, and choosing the right people to be around you. Neptune in Aries is about dissolving false dreams and idealism versus reality in your future path. And the Sun and Chiron in Aries in the 11th is about healing around belonging, visibility, and being seen in your truth. This is where you realize not every dream you've had is meant to come with you, and not every person is aligned with your next chapter. This month, ask, are you building a future that reflects your truth or one that keeps you comfortable? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra happening in your fifth house. So, this is around the joy that wants to be chosen again. This full moon is bringing clarity around your happiness, creativity, and self expression. So, you may realize where you've been holding back creatively, where you've been seeking validation instead of expressing freely, or where something or someone no longer feels fun or aligned. This is a return to authenticity. Ask yourself, what actually lights you up now? On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune in Aries. So, this is the dream that becomes a decision. This is where your future stops being abstract and becomes real. Mars pushes you to move. Saturn asks, is this sustainable? And Neptune asks, is this aligned or just idealized? So you may cut ties with people who no longer fit. You may commit seriously to a goal, or you may realize a dream needs restructuring. This is not about chasing everything. It's about choosing what's actually yours. On April 16th, the Sun in Aries makes a conjunction with Chiron. So, this is now an energy around healing the fear of not belonging. A wound around visibility or friendship may surface. So, you may notice a fear of being misunderstood, a fear of standing out, or a pattern of adjusting yourself to fit in. But this time, the healing comes from doing the opposite. You don't find your people by blending in. You find them by being fully yourself. On April 17th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is going to be happening across your 11th and 9th houses. This means one decision can change your direction. A powerful shift in perspective or opportunity may appear. So, this could look like a conversation that expands your thinking, a move toward a new path, study, or direction, or even a moment where your future opens up. This is where action meets expansion. Also on April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is about the future that you're claiming now. This is your future reset. So, under this new moon, set intentions around your long term goals, the type of people you want in your life, and the version of success you're building. This is not about playing small. This is about owning your vision, even if it's bigger than what you've allowed before. On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus, your 12th house. So, this is the quiet integration phase. After all the external movement early in the month, you're now being pulled inward. So, this is where you process everything that's shifting, where you rest and recalibrate, and where you integrate your new direction. Don't try to rush this part. This is where clarity deepens. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. So, of course, this is happening in your first house where a new version of you emerges. This is extremely magnetic energy. So, you will feel more expressive, more confident, or even more open to being seen. Others may even notice this shift before you do. This is your energy becoming unexpected, attractive, and authentic. On April 25th, the Sun in Taurus makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is going to be your 12th and ninth houses. This is the internal shift that you can't avoid. Something internal is challenging your belief system. So you may feel resistance to change, old fears resurfacing, or a push to let go of outdated thinking. This is not external pressure, it's internal transformation. On April 25th, the Sun in Taurus makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces. So this is going to be your 12th and 10th houses. This is the quiet move that aligns your purpose. This is a subtle but very significant energy. There is a quiet alignment happening between your inner world and your outer path. So you may feel a moment of clarity about your direction, a sense that something behind the scenes is clicking, or even an intuitive pull toward a career or purpose shift. This isn't going to be a loud validation. It's internal confirmation. When you slow down and listen, you'll know what move to make next. Your purpose isn't something that you chase this month. It's something you tune into. Finally, on April 26th, Uranus re-enters Gemini. So you are becoming something new in real time. This is major and life-changing. Uranus entering your first house begins a long-term identity awakening. This is where you break out of old versions of yourself, you experiment with who you are, and you stop living in predictable patterns. So, you may feel restless, more expressive, or less willing to stay the same. This is not instability. This is liberation for you. You are no longer here to be consistent for others. You are here to be authentic to yourself, even if it surprises people. Some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to choose the future that feels alive. Not every dream is meant to come with you. Choose the one that excites you now. Next is to let go of outdated connections. You don't need to force alignment. The right people will match your evolution. Next is to be seen before you feel ready. Visibility is part of your growth this month. So stop waiting to show up. Next is to honor the need to pause. Your 12th house activation is not regression, it's integration. And finally, redefine what you're worth. As your identity shifts, your standards and value must rise with it. A great affirmation for the month of April is, I choose a future that reflects who I truly am. I release what no longer aligns and allow my authentic self to lead me forward. If this gave you clarity, be sure to support this video with a like, share it with someone who needs it, hype this video, and subscribe to stay in the flow. And if you felt seen here, a one on one is where we take that surface recognition and turn it into real personalized guidance. One session can shift how you see your entire life. Plus, I have over 10 different session types for you to customize to whatever you're working through. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hi, Cancer Rising. So, this month, your power lies in owning your next level before you feel fully ready for it. This is your public breakthrough moment. April is activating your 10th house of career, visibility, and long term legacy. But this isn't just about success, it's about stepping into a version of yourself that can actually hold it. Each Aries placement is working differently through your 10th house. So, Mars in Aries is about bold career moves, visibility, and action toward your goals. Saturn in Aries is about long term responsibility, leadership, and being taken seriously. Neptune in Aries is about dissolving outdated ambitions and aligning with purpose over image. And the Sun and Chiron in Aries in the 10th is about healing your relationship with being seen, respected, and recognized. This is where your path sharpens. So you may feel called to step up, pushed into visibility, or confronted with what's no longer aligned professionally. This month is asking, are you ready to be known for who you actually are and not who you've been comfortable being? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra. So this is happening in your 4th house. This is about the foundation that needs your attention. Before you rise publicly, your private world needs to be addressed. So, this full moon is bringing clarity around home, family, and emotional stability. So, you may realize that something at home needs to shift, where you've been neglecting your emotional needs, or where your foundation doesn't support where you're going. You can't build a powerful future on an unstable base. On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune in your 10th house. So, this is the reality check that elevates you. This is a defining career moment. Mars pushes you forward, Saturn demands discipline, and Neptune dissolves illusion. So, you may feel pressure to step up, be given more responsibility, or realize your current path needs adjustment. This is where ambition meets alignment. You are not just working harder, you're working more intentionally. On April 16th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. So, with this being in your 10th house, this is about healing the fear of being seen fully. So, with this energy, a wound around visibility may surface. You may notice fear of judgment, fear of failure, or even fear of success. This is where you stop hiding behind potential and know that you are allowed to be seen, even if it feels vulnerable. Also, on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your 8th house. So, this is strategic. This is power moves behind the scenes. So, you may make a move that shifts your position. You may gain access to resources or support, or even step into deeper authority. This is not surface level success. This is power that comes from depth and transformation. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So the career chapter that begins is now. This new moon is great for you to set intentions around career direction, visibility, long term goals, and leadership. This is where you decide, what do I want to be known for? And more importantly, are you ready to claim it? On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus, which is your 11th house. So, this is about the right people starting to find you. Now, your focus shifts to community and future vision. So, this can attract aligned connections, gaining support from others, or seeing your long term goals more clearly. This is where your environment begins to match your evolution. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. This energy can bring unexpected emotional or spiritual insight. This is subtle but powerful. So you may have a realization that changes how you feel about something. You could experience a moment of clarity in solitude, or you may release something emotionally without needing closure. This energy is inner liberation. On April 25th, the sun in Taurus makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is your 11th and 8th houses. So this is a tension between growth and control. So you may feel pressure from others. You may feel a shift in power dynamics, or you could feel a resistance to change. This is a moment of choice. Do you control the outcome, or do you trust the transformation? Also on April 25th, the sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your ninth house. So this is literally alignment through expansion. So you may feel inspired to think bigger. You may feel called towards something new or be guided toward a brand new direction. This is where your future expands because you're willing to grow beyond what's familiar. And finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini in your 12th house. So, this is the awakening that you don't fully see yet. This begins a long term shift in your subconscious. So, you'll notice heightened intuition, unexpected insights, and a desire to break free from old patterns. This is internal liberation. Something is changing beneath the surface, and it will shape everything that comes next. Now, some of the best ways to work with the energy this month is to first step into visibility before you feel ready. You don't need to be perfect to be seen. Growth happens in real time. Next is to strengthen your emotional foundation. Your outer success depends on your inner stability. So take care of both. Next is to make intentional career moves. This is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Next is to release control around outcomes. Not everything needs to be managed. Some things need to unfold. And finally, trust the internal shifts that are happening now. Even if you can't explain them yet, they are guiding you. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is, I am ready to be seen for who I truly am. I trust my path, honor my growth, and step into my purpose with confidence. If this helped you understand yourself on a deeper level, be sure to like this video, pass it to someone who needs it, hype this video, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Also, be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And if you've been watching videos like this but still feel like something isn't fully clicking, this is where it actually comes together. My As Above, So Within digital prompt journal walks you through your birth chart in a way that turns awareness into real understanding. Be sure to tap the link in my description box below to check it out and get started. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hi, Leo Rising. So, this month, your power lies in trusting the version of your life that feels bigger than what you've known. This is your expansion initiation. April is activating your ninth house of your beliefs, your vision, and your future direction. But this isn't just about dreaming bigger, it's about outgrowing the mindset, identity, and narratives that kept you playing small. Each Aries placement is working through your ninth house in a different way. Mars is about bold action toward growth, travel, learning, and new direction. Saturn in Aries is about committing to a new path, taking your future seriously. Neptune in Aries in the ninth is about dissolving outdated beliefs, redefining truth and meaning, while the Sun and Chiron in Aries in the ninth is about healing your confidence in your voice, your path, and your perspective. This is where you realize you can't step into a bigger life with a smaller mindset. This month is asking, are you ready to believe in something bigger for yourself and act like it's real? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra in your third house. So, this is about the conversation that changes your perspective. This full moon brings clarity through communication. So, you may have a conversation that shifts your thinking. You may realize a pattern in how you speak or think. Or you may see where your mindset has been limiting you. This is about awareness. The way you think and the way you speak directly shapes your reality. On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune in your ninth house. This is a turning point in your direction. This is about the path becoming real. Mars pushes you forward. Saturn is asking for commitment, and Neptune dissolves illusion. So you may decide on a new path. You may commit to traveling, learning, or expanding. And you may realize that your old direction no longer fits. This is where you stop questioning and start moving. On April 16th, we have the Sun making a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. So, this is healing the fear of being wrong or seen. So, a wound around your voice, your beliefs, or your path may surface. So, you may notice a fear of being judged for what you think. You could notice doubting your direction or holding back your perspective. But this energy is where you reclaim your authority. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to be honest. Also on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your seventh house. So, a person or a conversation may open up your world. So, this could look like a relationship that challenges your thinking, a collaboration that shifts your direction, or a moment of clarity through someone else. This is expansion through connection. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is about the future that you decide to claim. This is a reset around direction for you. So, set intentions around travel, education, personal growth, as well as your long term vision. This is where you're able to choose, what kind of life am I actually building? On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus, your 10th house. So, this is about your vision meeting reality. Now, your focus shifts to your career and your public life. So, this is where your ideas become tangible, where your direction becomes visible, and where your ambition stabilizes. So, you are no longer just thinking bigger, you're now building something real. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. So, this is exciting. This is unexpected opportunities through people. So, you could meet someone new who completely changes your direction. You could receive an unexpected opportunity or even feel a shift in your social circle. Just know that this is alignment through connection. On April 25th, the sun makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius in your seventh house. So, this is about the pressure to stay comfortable versus the need to evolve. So, you may feel tension between your career path and your relationships. So, you may realize that not everyone can come with you into your next level. This is a moment of choice. Also, on April 25th, the sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your eighth house. So, this is about alignment through trust and depth. When you trust your path, support shows up. So, this can feel like a deeper connection. This could be financial or emotional support, or confirmation that you are absolutely moving in the right direction. So, with this, you're being guided towards something more aligned. Finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini. So, your future is about to change through new connections. So, this begins a long term shift in your social world and your vision. So, expect new communities, unexpected collaborations, a completely different sense of where you're going. Your future is going to become more dynamic and more aligned. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to think bigger, then act on it. Expansion for you this month is not just an idea, it's a decision. So move like your future is real. Next is to speak your perspective without fear. Your voice is part of your growth. Stop filtering it to be accepted. Next is to commit to a direction. You don't need all the answers, but you do need to choose a path. Next is to allow new people into your world. Your next level is connected to who you're willing to meet. And finally, let go of who can't grow with you. Not everyone is meant to understand your expansion, and that's okay. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is: I trust my path, expand my vision, and move confidently toward the life I know I'm meant to live. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And if this brought you clarity that you didn't have before, be sure to hit like, share this video, hype it, and subscribe to stay connected to this kind of energy. And if you're going through a breakup, a transition, or just feel off in your life right now, my As Above, So Within digital prompt journal will help you to process what's actually happening beneath the surface and begin your healing. Be sure to tap the link below in my description box and check it out and get started. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hey, Virgo rising. So, this month, your power lies in letting transformation change you without trying to control the outcome. This is your depth initiation. April is activating your eighth house, shared energy, intimacy, power, emotional entanglements, and transformation. This isn't surface level change. This is where you release control, face truth, and allow something to evolve at its core. Each Aries placement is working through your eighth house differently. Mars is bringing intense emotional movement, confronting fears, and reclaiming power. Saturn is about boundaries around energy, responsibility and intimacy, and long term transformation. Neptune is dissolving illusions in relationships, finances, and emotional attachments, while the Sun and Chiron are healing wounds around trust, vulnerability, and power dynamics. This is where you realize you can't control what's transforming. You can only choose how you meet it. This month is asking, are you holding on for control or allowing yourself to evolve? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra, and this is happening in your second house. So, this is about the truth about your worth. This full moon is bringing clarity around money, your self worth, and what you tolerate. So, you may realize where you've been undervaluing yourself, where you've been accepting less than you deserve, or where your sense of security is tied to something external. This energy is about recalibration. What you accept reflects what you believe you're worth. On April 9th, we have Mars and Aries making a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune in your eighth house. So, this is about the truth you can't avoid anymore. This is intense, but it's necessary. Mars brings confrontation, Saturn demands accountability, and Neptune dissolves illusion. So you may face a truth in a relationship. You may reevaluate shared finances or emotional entanglements, or you may feel the need to set stronger boundaries. This is where you stop avoiding and start addressing what's real. On April 16th, we have the Sun in a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. So, this is about healing through vulnerability. So, a wound around trust, intimacy, or power may surface. So, you may notice a fear of opening up, a fear of being controlled or losing yourself, or patterns around emotional merging. But this is where healing happens, not by closing off, but by choosing vulnerability consciously. Also on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your sixth house. So, this is transforming your reality through small shifts. This is powerful, grounded transformation. So, you may change a habit that's going to shift everything for you. You may address something in your daily life that's been draining you, or take action that improves your stability. This is where deep change meets practical action. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is around the transformation that you choose. So, this is your reset around power, intimacy, and shared energy. Set your intentions around emotional boundaries, financial independence or clarity, as well as releasing attachments. This is not about surface level goals. This is about who you become when you let go. On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus in your ninth house. So, this is bringing a new perspective that changes everything. So, after the intensity, you begin to expand. So, this is allowing you to see things differently, feeling called towards something new, or experience a shift in your beliefs. This is where transformation turns into growth. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus in your 10th house. So, this is a massive shift in your public life. So, something unexpected is going to happen in your career or in your visibility. You could receive recognition, feel called to express yourself differently, or even attract new opportunities. This is your energy becoming more visible and more unique. On April 25th, we have the sun making a square to Pluto in Aquarius in your sixth house. So, this is the tension between growth and habits. So, you may feel pulled between expanding into something new and staying in familiar routines. This is a moment of choice. Growth requires change, and not everything can stay the same. Also, on April 25th, the sun is making a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your seventh house. So, a person or interaction may guide you forward. So, you could gain clarity through someone else, feel more supported in your growth, or see your path more clearly. This is alignment through openness. Finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini in your 10th house. So, this is beginning a long term shift in your public life, in your career. So, expect unexpected opportunities, expect a change in direction, or even a desire to completely break away from all traditional paths. Your success will not look conventional, and that's the point. Some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to let go of control where it's not serving you. Not everything needs to be managed. Some things need to transform. Next is to set clear boundaries around your energy. your time, your emotions, and your finances. Protect what's yours. Next, allow yourself to be vulnerable without losing yourself. Intimacy doesn't require self sacrifice, it requires awareness. Next is to make small changes that create big shifts. Transformation doesn't always come from big moves, it comes from consistent ones. And finally, stay open to a new direction. What feels unfamiliar may be exactly what expands you. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is: I trust the transformation unfolding within me. I release control, honor my boundaries, and step into my power with clarity. If you're on this journey with me, be sure to like this video, send it to someone who needs it, hype this video, and subscribe so we stay tapped in together. Also, be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And if you felt seen, let's go deeper in a one-on-one session where we will shift your entire life concept. Plus, I offer over 10 different session styles to match exactly what you're moving through. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out and book your session. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hey, Libra Rising. So, this month you're paralyzed in choosing yourself in your relationships without losing your softness. This is your relationship reset. April is activating your seventh house of commitment, partnerships, and relational dynamics. But this isn't just about love, it's about who you are in connection, what you tolerate, and what you're no longer willing to compromise. Each Aries placement is working through your seventh house differently. Mars is bringing direct conversations, conflict, and honesty in relationships. Saturn is bringing commitment, boundaries, and defining what's real versus temporary. Neptune is dissolving illusions and seeing relationships clearly, while the Sun and Chiron are healing wounds around rejection, abandonment, or self sacrifice. This is where you realize you can't maintain harmony by abandoning yourself. This month is asking, are your relationships built on truth or on who you've had to be to keep them? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra. So this full moon is personal. This is about the version of you that can't continue. So you may feel a shift in your identity, a realization about how you show up, or a need to release an old version of yourself. This is a mirror moment. Who you've been may no longer match who you're becoming. On April 9th, we have Mars in Aries making a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune. This is the relationship reality check. This is a defining moment in your relationships. Mars brings confrontation. Saturn demands structure. And Neptune is dissolving illusion. So you may have a serious conversation. You may define a relationship. Or you may see something clearly that you couldn't before. This is where fantasy meets reality. What's real will stabilize. What's not will dissolve. On April 16th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. So, this is healing the fear of rejection. A wound around relationships may surface. So, you could notice a fear of not being chosen, a fear of being too much or not enough, or a pattern of self sacrifice. But this is where healing happens. You don't need to change yourself to be loved. You need to be yourself and let that be enough. Also, on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your fifth house. So, this is a powerful shift in your relational and romantic energy. So, you could experience a deeper connection. You may feel more confident expressing yourself, or you could attract something more intense and aligned. This is where authenticity meets magnetism. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is about a reset in your partnerships. This is about the relationship standard that you set now. So, set intentions around the type of relationship you want, your boundaries, and your standards. This is not about chasing love. This is about defining what you're available for. On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus, which is your eighth house. So, this is about depth over surface. Now things are getting deeper. So, you may crave emotional intimacy. You could address shared finances or energy, or you may face something that's beneath the surface. This is where connection becomes real and not just pleasant. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. So, this is a shift in perspective that's going to change everything. So, something unexpected is going to expand your view. So, you may feel drawn to something new. You may have a conversation that changes the way that you think, or you could just see your situation differently. This energy is mental and emotional liberation. On April 25th, the sun makes a square to Pluto in your fifth house. So, this is a tension between control and expression. So, you may feel a need to control something emotionally or resistance around vulnerability. This is a moment of choice. Do you stay guarded or allow yourself to feel fully? Also, on April 25th, the sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your sixth house. When you are honest about what you feel and need, things align. So, this may look like a conversation, a realization, or a shift in your daily life. With this energy, truth creates movement. And finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini in your ninth house. This begins a long term shift in how you think, learn, and see the world. Your perspective is now changing, and your life will follow. Some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to choose yourself in real time, not after the conversation, not after the conflict, in the moment. Next is to define your relationship standards clearly. If you don't define them, you'll default to old patterns. Next is to stop avoiding difficult conversations. Honesty creates alignment, even if it creates discomfort first. Next is to allow depth without losing yourself. You can be open and grounded at the same time. And finally, expand your perspective before reacting. What you believe shapes how you respond. Choose your mindset intentionally. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is: I honor myself in every connection. I choose relationships that reflect my truth, my worth, and my growth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And if this is your kind of space, show this video some love with a like, share it with your circle, hype this video, and subscribe so we stay locked in. And if love and relationships has been a place where you lose yourself, my digital Venus activation prompt journal helps you to rebuild your self-worth from the inside out and heal your heart. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out and get started. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hey, Scorpio rising. So, this month, your power lies in rebuilding your life in a way that actually supports you, not just what you can endure. This is your reality reset. April is activating your sixth house. So, this is your routines, work, health, habits, and the structure of your daily life. But this isn't just about getting organized. It's about realigning your lifestyle with who you're becoming. Each Aries placement is working through your sixth house differently. Mars is bringing urgency to change habits, take action, and fix what's not working. Saturn's energy is around discipline, accountability, and long-term structure. Neptune is about dissolving unsustainable routines and having burnout awareness, while the Sun and Chiron are healing your relationship with productivity, worth, and effort. This is where you realize just because you can hold something doesn't mean you should. This month is asking, does your daily life actually support your growth or just your survival? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra happening in your 12th house. So, this is about the emotional weight that you're ready to release. This full moon brings something hidden to the surface. So, you may feel emotional exhaustion. You may realize what you've been suppressing or need space to process. This is a release point. Something you've been carrying internally is ready to be let go. On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune. This is about the habit you can't ignore anymore. This is where your daily life gets real. Mars is pushing you to act. Saturn demands consistency, and Neptune dissolves what isn't sustainable. So you may change your routine. You could set stronger boundaries with work or realize that you've been running on empty. This is not about doing more. It's about doing what actually matters. On April 16th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. So this is healing the need to prove your worth through effort. So a wound around productivity or usefulness may surface. So you could notice the need to overwork, feeling like you have to earn rest, or tying your worth to what you do. This is where healing happens. When you know you are valuable even when you're not producing. Also on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your fourth house. So this is changing your life from the inside out. This is powerful, but also grounded. So you may shift something in your home or environment. You could change a habit that impacts your emotional stability, or you may create structure that supports your well being. This is where internal change creates external results. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is your reset in your daily life. So, set intentions around your habits, your health, your work schedule, and boundaries. This is not about perfection. This is about consistency that actually supports you. On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus in your seventh house. So, this is where your focus shifts to connection and where relationships reflect your new standards. So, you may attract more grounded relationships. You may reevaluate who you're aligned with, or you may notice how others respond to your changes. This is where your inner work becomes visible externally. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. So, this is an unexpected emotional or financial shift. So, you could have something surprising happening around shared resources, emotional bonds, or intimacy. So, you may feel a sudden shift in a connection. You may gain clarity about an attachment, or you could experience a financial change. This is transformation through awareness. On April 25th, the sun makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius in your fourth house. So, this is a tension between control and emotional truth. So, you may feel a power dynamic in a relationship, emotional pressure from home or family, or a need to control a situation. This is a moment of choice. Do you hold on or allow change? Also on April 25th, the sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your fifth house. So when you show up honestly, the right connections deepen. So with this, you may experience clarity within a relationship. You could feel more aligned with someone, or you may reconnect with your sense of joy. This is alignment through truth. Finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini in your eighth house. So deep transformation begins. This is the start of a long term shift in finances, emotional depth, and intimacy. So expect unexpected changes, new ways of connecting, or a break from old patterns. This is transformation that frees you. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to redesign your daily life intentionally. Your routine should support your growth, not drain your energy. Next is to stop measuring your worth by productivity. You don't have to earn rest, love, or value. Next is to create structure that feels sustainable. Consistency is what matters, but only if it's realistic. Next is to release what you've been holding internally. You don't have to carry everything alone. And finally, Let relationships reflect your growth. As you change, your connections will too. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is: I build a life that supports me. I honor my energy, release what drains me, and create routines that align with my truth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And if you're on this journey with me, be sure to like this video, send it to someone who needs it, hype this video, and subscribe so we stay tapped in together. And there's only so much I can say here, so a one-on-one with me is where we make it specific to you. Plus, I offer over 10 different session styles to match exactly what you need. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out and book your session. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hi, Sagittarius rising. So, this month, your power lies in choosing joy that feels true, not just what keeps you distracted. This month is your creative and emotional reawakening. April is activating your fifth house, your joy, self expression, creativity, romance, and what makes you feel alive. But this isn't just about having fun, it's about reconnecting with what's real for you and releasing what was performative. Each Aries placement is working through your fifth house differently. Mars is bringing bold expression, desire, passion, taking risk. Saturn is about you taking your creativity seriously and emotional maturity in love. Neptune is about dissolving illusions in romance and redefining what happiness actually means. While the Sun and Chiron are healing the fear of being fully seen and expressing yourself without apology. This is where you realize you don't need permission to take up space, but you do need to be honest about what actually fulfills you. This month is asking, are you choosing joy or just avoiding discomfort? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra in your 11th house. So, this full moon is bringing clarity around friendships and community. So, this could be about outgrowing certain connections, realizing you don't feel aligned in certain spaces, or see your future differently. This is not rejection, it's redirection. On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune in your fifth. So, this is where your passion gets real. Mars brings desire, Saturn is asking for commitment, and Neptune is dissolving fantasy. So, this could be about you getting serious around a creative pursuit, seeing a romantic situation clearly, or realizing what you truly want. This is not fleeting energy, it's focused. On April 16th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron. So, this is a wound around expression or attention resurfacing. So, you may notice a fear of judgment, holding back your creativity, or feeling exposed. But this is where you shift. You are not here to hide your light, you're here to embody it. Also on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your third house. So your voice is fueling your creativity. This is powerful expression. So you may create something that feels transformative, You may say something that sparks something bigger, or you may connect in a way that feels deeper. Your voice is your catalyst this month. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is your reset around joy and expression. So, set intentions around creativity, romance, and what excites you. This is not about what looks good, it's about what feels real. On April 20th, the sun enters Taurus, your sixth house. So now your focus is shifting to routine and stability. So this is where you turn inspiration into consistency, where you create structure around what matters, and where you make your life sustainable. Joy without structure fades. This is where you anchor it. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. So something surprising happens in connection. So you may meet someone new, experience a shift in a relationship, or feel a change in how you connect. This is liberation in your relationships. On April 25th, the sun makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So you may feel pressure in your daily life or resistance to expressing something. This is a moment of choice. Do you keep things easy or do you speak what's real? Also on April 25th, the sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your fourth house. This energy says when you create stability, things align. So you may feel more grounded. You may gain clarity about your direction or feel supported in your choices. This is a quiet alignment. And finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini. So, this is where relationships begin to evolve rapidly in your seventh house. So, this is going to bring a long term shift in your connections. So, expect the unexpected, expect new types of relationships, as well as a desire for more freedom. Your relationships will no longer feel predictable, and that's the point. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to choose joy that feels honest. Not everything that looks fun is aligned. Pay attention to what feels real. Next is to take your creativity seriously. This is not just a hobby, it's part of your path. Next is to let yourself be seen without overthinking it. Expression is your power this month. Don't filter it. Next is to create structure around what matters. If it's important to you, give it consistency. And finally, allow relationships to shift naturally. You don't need to control connection. Just stay authentic. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is I honor what brings me joy. I express myself freely, trust my desires, and allow my life to expand in aligned ways. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And help this video reach who it's supposed to. So be sure to like, share, hype, and subscribe so that the universe and the algorithm keep delivering. And if you're ready to feel chosen without needing someone else to choose you first, my digital Venus activation prompt journal walks you back into that version of yourself and reset your relationship patterns. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check it out and get started. I appreciate you. And thanks so much for watching. Hi, Capricorn rising. So, this month, your power lies in creating a life that actually feels like home and not just one that looks stable. This month is your foundation reset. April is activating your fourth house. So, this is your home, family, emotional security, and your inner world. This isn't about surface changes. This is about what your life is built on and whether it truly supports who you're becoming. Each Aries placement is working through your fourth house differently. Mars is bringing an urgency to change your environment, so emotional reactions could be rising. Saturn is about restructuring your foundation, long term stability, and responsibility at home. Neptune is dissolving illusions about what home actually means, which brings emotional clarity. While the Sun and Chiron are healing family patterns, emotional wounds, and your sense of safety. This is where you realize you can't build a powerful future on an unstable emotional base. This month is asking, does your life feel like a place you can actually rest or just somewhere you manage? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra happening in your 10th house. So, this full moon brings clarity in your career and public life. And it's also about the role you've outgrown. So, you may feel seen or recognized. You could realize that your current role no longer fits, or you may question what success means now. This is a turning point. Are you performing or are you aligned? On April 9th, Mars is making a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune in Aries in your fourth house. So, this is the shift you can't ignore at home. This is a defining moment in your foundation. Mars brings action, Saturn demands structure, and Neptune dissolves. So, you may make a change in your living situation. You could be addressing family dynamics, or you could realize something needs to shift emotionally. This is where you stop avoiding and start rebuilding. On April 16th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron. So, this is a deep emotional wound that could be resurfacing. This is about healing what still feels tender. So, you may notice old patterns from family, emotional triggers, or a need for safety and grounding. But this is where your healing happens. Knowing that you are allowed to create a new definition of home, one that feels safe for you. Also on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your second house. So this is grounded power. This is rebuilding from the core. So you may make a decision that strengthens your stability. You may change something that impacts your finances, or you may feel more in control of your environment. This is transformation that lasts. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is your reset around home and emotional security. So, be sure to set intentions around where you live, how you feel in your space, and what stability means to you. This is not about appearances. This is about what actually supports you. On April 20th, the Sun enters Taurus, which is your fifth house. So after the emotional work, your energy shifts. So you may experience more joy and happiness, feel more creative, or reconnect with something that excites you. This is grounded happiness, not distraction. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. So something unexpected is going to happen in your routine. So you may change your schedule, try something new, or feel a shift in your work environment. This is liberation in your day to day life. On April 25th, the sun makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius in your second house. So, this is the tension between joy and security. So, you may feel pulled between what feels good and what feels safe. This is also pressure around money or stability. This is a moment of choice. Do you stay comfortable or allow yourself to enjoy your life? Also, on April 25th, the sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your third house. So, when you express yourself, things align. So, this can help you to feel more confident, to be able to share something meaningful, or even gain clarity through communication. This energy is about movement through honesty. And finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini in your sixth house. So, this begins a long term shift in your daily life. So, expect new ways of working, changes in your schedule, as well as a desire for more freedom. With this energy here for the next 8 years, your life becomes more flexible and more aligned. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is to redefine what home means to you, not based on the past, but based on what supports you now. Next is to address emotional patterns honestly. You can't heal what you avoid, so be real with yourself. Next is to create stability that feels good, not just secure. Safety without happiness is not alignment. Next is to allow your routine to evolve. You don't need to stay stuck in what's familiar. And finally, let yourself experience joy without guilt. You are allowed to enjoy your life. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is: I create a life that supports me emotionally and physically. I release what no longer feels like home and build from a place of truth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And if this helped you to understand yourself on a deeper level, be sure to like this video, pass it on to someone who needs it, hype this video, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you felt seen here, a one on one is where we take that surface recognition and turn it into real personalized guidance. One session with me can shift how you see your entire life. Plus, I offer over 10 different session types that you can customize to whatever you're working through. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out and book your session. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hey, Aquarius Rising. So, this month, you're paralyzed in saying what you actually mean and letting that change your life. This month is your voice activation. April is activating your third house. So, this is your thoughts, communication, mindset, and the way you process reality. But this isn't just about speaking more, it's about thinking differently, communicating honestly, and breaking out of mental patterns that have been limiting you. Each Aries placement is working through your third house differently. Mars is bringing direct communication, bold ideas, and speaking without hesitation. Saturn is about disciplined thinking, intentional communication, and mental boundaries. Neptune is about dissolving confusion, shifting perspective, and intuitive thinking, while the Sun in Chiron is about healing your voice and expressing truth without fear. This is where you realize that your life changes the moment you stop filtering your truth. This month is asking, are you thinking from old patterns or speaking from who you're becoming now? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra happening in your ninth house. So, this full moon brings clarity around your beliefs and perspective. So, you may find that you're questioning something that you once believed. You may feel pulled toward an entirely new direction, or you outgrow a mindset. This is bringing expansion through awareness. On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune. This is powerful mental activation. Mars is pushing you to speak, Saturn is asking you to be intentional, and Neptune is dissolving confusion. So, this may bring you an important conversation. You may realize that your thinking needs to shift, or you may feel the need to express something that you've been holding in. This is not just communication, it's transformation. On April 16th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. So, this is about healing the fear of saying it wrong. So, a wound around your voice may surface. So, you might notice your fear of being misunderstood, or overthinking your words, or holding back your truth. But this is where your healing happens, when you understand that you don't need perfect words, you need honest ones. Also on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So, what you say and how you say it shifts your identity. So, you may speak something that changes how others see you. You may express yourself more confidently or feel more aligned in your communication. This is bringing power through authenticity. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is your reset in mindset and communication. This is about the new narrative that you choose. So, set intentions around how you think, how you speak, and what you believe. This is not about changing your life overnight. This is about changing the story you're telling yourself. On April 20th, the Sun enters Taurus, which is your fourth house. So now your focus shifts inward. This is about grounding your thoughts into stability. So you may be more reflective. You may be more focused on home and emotional security, or you may slow down mentally. This energy is where clarity becomes grounded. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction to Uranus. So, this is unexpected joy and expression. This is a very light, fun, and freeing kind of energy. So, you'll feel more playful. You'll express yourself more creatively. And you could experience a spark in romance. This energy brings happiness through spontaneity. On April 25th, the sun makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So, this is a tension between comfort and change. This is a moment of choice. Do you stay where it's comfortable or grow into who you're becoming? Also, on April 25th, the sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your second house. So, this means that when you ground yourself, things align. So, this can help you to feel more secure. This can help you to gain clarity about your values, or you may feel supported in your direction. This energy is quiet alignment. And finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini. So, this begins a long term shift in your creativity, in your love life, and in your self expression. So, expect unexpected connections, new ways of expressing yourself, as well as a shift in what brings you happiness. With this new energy, your life is becoming more dynamic as well as more authentic. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to say what you actually mean. Stop editing yourself to be understood. Clarity comes from honesty. Next is to change the way you talk to yourself. Your mindset shapes your reality. Choose your thoughts intentionally. Next is to stop overthinking your voice. You don't need perfect timing. You need truth. Next is to ground your ideas into action. Thinking is not enough. Move on what you know. And finally, let yourself express freely. Your authenticity is what creates connection. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is: my voice is powerful. I trust my thoughts, express my truth, and allow my words to shape my reality. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And help this video reach who it's supposed to. So be sure to like, share, hype, and subscribe so that the universe and the algorithm keep delivering. And if you're ready to feel chosen without needing someone else to choose you first, my digital Venus activation prompt journal walks you back into that version of yourself and reset your relationship patterns. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out and get started. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Hey, Pisces rising. So, this month, your power lies in choosing your worth before the world reflects it back to you. This month is your value recalibration. April is activating your second house. So, this is your self worth, money, standards, and what you allow into your life. But this isn't just about finances, it's about what you believe you deserve and how that belief shapes everything. Each Aries placement is working through your second house differently. Mars is about taking action around money, asserting your value, and bringing a desire for independence. Saturn is about building long term stability, discipline with your finances, and redefining standards. Neptune is here dissolving illusions around worth and clearing scarcity or confusion, while the Sun and Chiron are healing wounds around your value, deservingness, and self trust. This is where you realize your life reflects what you're willing to accept. So this month is asking, Are you choosing from your worth or from what feels familiar? Starting on April 1st, we have a full moon in Libra happening in your eighth house. So, this full moon brings clarity around shared energy, finances, or emotional entanglements. This energy is around any attachments that need to shift. So, you may reevaluate a financial situation. You may see a dynamic more clearly or realize where you've been over giving. This is all about balance. So you're asking, what's yours and what isn't? On April 9th, Mars in Aries makes a conjunction with both Saturn and Neptune. So this is a defining moment for your self worth. Mars is pushing you to act, Saturn is demanding responsibility, and Neptune is dissolving illusion. So, this is the reality check around value and money. So, you may take action toward more financial independence. You could be setting stronger boundaries, or you may realize where you've been undervaluing yourself. This is where you stop guessing and start deciding what you're worth. On April 16th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Chiron in Aries. So, this is a deep wound around your self worth surfacing. This is about healing the fear of not being enough. So, you may notice doubting yourself, feeling like you need to prove your value, or comparing yourself to others. But this is where healing happens, is when you realize that you are not something to be measured, you are something to be honored. Also happening on April 16th, Mars makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your 12th house. So this is internal but powerful. This is about the power that you reclaim quietly. So you may find yourself releasing a limiting belief, gaining clarity about your worth, or making a decision that changes everything behind the scenes. This is quiet empowerment. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. So, this is your reset around value. So, be sure to set intentions around money, boundaries, and what you accept. This is where you decide, what am I available for now? On April 20th, the Sun enters Taurus, your third house. So, now your focus is shifting to communication. This is where your voice anchors your worth. So you may find that you're speaking more clearly, expressing your needs, or think differently about yourself. This is where your value becomes something that you articulate. On April 24th, Venus in Gemini makes a conjunction with Uranus. With this energy, something shifts emotionally or in your environment. So you could change something in your home. You may have a realization about what you need or feel a sense of emotional freedom. This is internal freedom. On April 25th, the Sun makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius in your 12th house. So you may feel mental pressure with this. Old fears may be resurfacing, or you could feel resistance to changing your thinking. This energy is about a thought pattern that needs to go. This is also about a moment of awareness that not every thought is truth. Also, on April 25th, the Sun makes a sextile to the North Node in Pisces in your first house. So, this means that when you speak from your truth, things align. So, this is going to help you to gain clarity, feel more confident, as well as notice things flowing more easily. This energy is about movement through authenticity. And finally, on April 26th, Uranus re enters Gemini in your fourth house. So, this begins a long term shift in your sense of home and stability. So, absolutely expect the unexpected when it comes to changes in your environment, emotional breakthroughs, as well as a desire for more freedom. This is about your foundation becoming more authentic and more flexible. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to decide what you're worth, then act like it. Your value is not something you wait for, it's something you embody. Next is to set boundaries around what you accept. If it doesn't match your standards, it doesn't stay. Next is to challenge limiting thoughts about yourself. Not every belief you have is true. Choose better ones. Next is to speak your needs clearly. Your voice reinforces your value. Use it. And finally, allow your foundation to change. Growth requires flexibility, especially emotionally. A great affirmation for you for the month of April is: I honor my worth in every decision I make. I choose what aligns with me, trust my value, and build a life that reflects it. Be sure to let me know how the energy of April is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, your 3-second ritual: like this video, share this video, hype this video, and subscribe to keep this energy coming your way. And if you know you're meant for more but can't quite access it yet, a one-on-one with me will help you step into that version of yourself with clarity and direction. Plus, I offer over 10 different session styles to match what you actually need. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out and book your session. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching.